You better have a good reason for calling me at this time. What is it?
I'm so sorry for disturbing you, sir. There's been an accident at the park.
Pleistocene? Again?
Not Pleistocene. It's the African Reserve, sir.
Oh, for goodness sake, what's happened now?
One of the tour boats has been attacked by a Spinosaurus. It's sinking as we speak.
Good God! Are there any survivors?
We don't think there'll be any survivors.
Oh my God. I can't believe I managed to survive that. Oh, I need to get out of here. Oh, thank God, land. Is that a cave? Huh? What was that? Oh, it is a cave. I hope there's nothing in it. Or at least I can get out of this weather. Oh, God. What's that? What's that noise? Is that somebody's phone? Hello? Hello, is... Oh my God! Ah! Oh, my ankle! Oh my God! I better get a move on. What's that over there? Looks like a fire or something. I better get moving. Oh God, my foot! Oh my God! Oh, I need to get out of here quick. Oh, I hope there's nothing in here, I really do. Oh, no. No. No, don't come in here, no, please. God. Oh my God. Oh, I've got to try and get over that fence. Or is it electric? Oh, it looks electric. Oh, I don't think he's seen me. Oh, I'm gonna have to make a run for it. Right, let's go. Here we go. Oh, my foot. I think I've lost them. Oh no. Oh no. What's going on? Hello? There's a guest in the exhibit! There's a guest in the exhibit! Hello, and welcome back to our prehistoric African zoo. In the last video, we created a habitat for the mighty Spinosaurus. We also made our very own boat where the guests can hop on and cruise around the park. And today we're going to be making a cave for our latest arrival, the Carcharodontosaurus. Right, let's begin this Carcharodontosaurus cave. But before we get started, hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe. So we're going to start off with the entrance, or should I say the exit. This is where the boat is going to leave the Carcharodontosaurus cave and enter into the Spinosaurus habitat. So we need to make sure that this exit is big enough so the boat can actually get through. We don't want the chimney there where the steam's coming out. We don't want that smashing into the top of the roof of the cave, so we must make sure it is high enough. The last thing that we want is the boat getting stuck in the cave with the Carcharodontosaurus. We certainly don't want that happening. So we're going to add some vines here, drooping down from the entrance, just to give it a bit of character, make it look like this cave's been here for a while. There's vines growing down it from the jungle. Lovely. And I think this cave will be a great shelter for our Carcharodontosaurus, somewhere for them to escape the tropical humid heat, be able to get away from it in this nice cool cave, because most caves stay the same temperature inside, so they'll be able to get away from that heat and cool off. The Spinosaurus, will spend most of its time in the water, so it can cool off there, so it doesn't really need a shelter. It can go down to the bottom of the lake if it needs to escape the heat. Whereas the Carcharodontosaurus is a land predator, so it could swim, but it's more adapted for hunting prey on the land, so I think it will really appreciate this cave that we've made for them. Well, I hope they do anyway. We want happy dinosaurs in this park. We do care about the welfare of our animals. The last thing we want is unhappy dinosaurs. But let's talk a little bit about this dinosaur, the shark-toothed lizard. That is what Carcharodontosaurus name means. And the reason it is called shark-toothed lizard is because, quite obviously, its teeth are very, very similar to that of a shark. Very sleek and blade-like, and they had serrations on both sides of the tooth, just like a shark does. And another thing they have in common with sharks is the ability to replace their old teeth. So sharks, as their old teeth fall out, behind them you can see rows and rows of new teeth ready to take the place of the old ones, like a big conveyor belt of teeth. And Carcharodontosaurus, along with many other predatory dinosaurs, had this ability. Now think about these predators, the kind of animals they were hunting. Huge herbivores. It was probably quite common that while tackling such powerful herbivores that they lost a tooth or two. So underneath the old teeth is a new tooth growing beneath the root. And when the old tooth gets pulled out, yanked out whenever they're tackling a big herbivore, the new tooth starts to push through. So they always have new teeth to last them throughout their lifetime. And Carcharodontosaurus had 60 teeth, and each tooth was up to 8 inches long. Wow, just imagine that. That's like 60 kitchen knives coming at you. What impressive weapons, and both serrated on each side as well. So my goodness, these teeth would cut through flesh like a knife through butter. You certainly wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of those jaws. Now this might be quite surprising, but their jaws were actually relatively weak. When you think of this massive animal, very large, very powerful, you'd expect them to have a very powerful bite. But it seems that was not the case. So let's have a look at the data. What bite force could this dinosaur produce? Well, there are estimates around 3,000 pounds per square inch. Now, let's compare this to the great white shark. It only seems right that we compare the shark-toothed lizard to a shark. So let's have a look at what a great white shark could produce. Well, you might be quite surprised here. In fact, you might be quite shocked, but a great white shark can produce a bite force of £4,000 per square inch, so £1,000 more than the Carcharodontosaurus, which seems quite shocking, really. I did not expect this at all, so I don't know about that. Maybe they've got their estimates wrong, or maybe it just had a really, really weak bite. But let's compare it with the Tyrannosaurus Rex, which had the most powerful bite force of any dinosaur. In fact, it actually holds the record for the most powerful bite force of any terrestrial animal, so any animal that lives on the land. So let's take a look at the Tyrannosaurus Rex, which absolutely blows the Carcharodontosaurus out of the water with a bite force of up to 12,800 pounds per square inch. Wow. I mean, that's over 4 times as powerful as the Carcharodontosaurus. Incredible. It's mind-boggling, isn't it? But the thing is, these two dinosaurs are killing their prey with very different techniques. So the Tyrannosaurus, their teeth are designed for crushing through bone. They're not slender and designed for cutting through flesh. They're designed for puncturing through the flesh. They do have serrations, but they're designed to crush through the bone. They're very wide and thick. They're not like, very thin kitchen knives. Whereas the Carcharodontosaurus is designed for slicing through the flesh, and instead of crunching through bone and things like that, the teeth are supposed to cut through the animal, and the animal will actually die from blood loss. So you can just imagine these Carcharodontosaurus, taking one big bite of their prey, lunging forward, taking a bite, and getting out of there, dragging their teeth through the flesh, getting out of there so they don't get hit by the prey, and then maybe, circling round, flanking it, attacking again, and just keep attacking, and eventually the prey dies of blood loss. Whereas the Tyrannosaurus Rex is just literally crunching through the bone of the animal. My God, it's incredible. But yeah, 2 different killing techniques, both using their mouths to kill, but very different. You'll notice the Carcharodontosaurus has very small arms, just like a Tyrannosaurus, so they're not using their arms to kill their prey, they're using their mouths. And while we're at it, we may as well talk about the most powerful bite force of any animal to ever live. What do you think it is? If you had to guess, what would you think this animal would be? I'll give you a clue. It suits the theme of what we've been talking about. We've been talking about the shark-toothed lizard and the great white shark as well. So it's related to one of those. Can you guess? It is, of course, the mighty Megalodon. Now, these readings are insane. The Megalodon. So let's just recap what the Tyrannosaurus was. The Tyrannosaurus, which has the most powerful bite force of any land animal, could produce a bite of 12,800 pounds per square inch. Now, the Megalodon, my goodness, could produce a bite of up to 40,000 pounds per square inch. My God, that's absolutely insane. When you think about it though, what this animal was hunting, it was hunting enormous whales, and it needed a bite force strong enough to puncture through that thick blubber. I mean, you've seen the size of their teeth, they can fit in the palm of your hand. They're absolutely enormous, so the jaws would have been huge too. So, I mean, it is just crazy. And you can see the cave is coming on nicely now. We're just putting in the roof, which is the hardest bit to do. You've got to try and get the camera angle right to see what you're doing. It is quite difficult. But yeah, it's coming on very nicely. I'm liking the way it's looking. Plenty of space in here for the Carcharodontosaurus. I wouldn't make the cave this big, but I feel like it needs to be, because when the ships are coming in, it needs to be large enough for the boat to actually fit in. And also, I think it'll be very cool for the guests. You're going inside this cave on a boat. It'll be very cool, looking out for the dinosaurs. And you can see here, we've just copied and pasted this, what would you call it? This, it's like a checkpoint. So this stops the Carcharodontosaurus getting out of their enclosure and mixing with the other animals. So the guests here on the boat, as they come to this checkpoint, the gate will open. You can see we've got 2 gates. The first one will open, the ship will come in, and then the second gate will open only when the first gate is shut, so that you see this at safari parks sometimes, it's just to stop the animals from actually getting out of their enclosures. And here we're just building this device to make it a little bit easier to get supplies onto the boat. Maybe they're running low on a certain something, I don't know, food or water. Maybe not food, that might attract the animals over to the boat. But yeah, if they've run out of fuel or toilet rolls, I don't know. This makes it a bit easier to get it on the boat rather than the actual crew having to drag it on. They can just lift it on with this and lower it down, and there you go, you've got your supplies. We'll put a few of the supplies near it there, some boxes and some barrels. Lovely. Lovely stuff. So it's coming along now. I like the way it is looking. It's looking rather nice. But let's get back to the shark-toothed lizard. Let's have a look at a few facts about this animal. Right, let's get up the measurements. So the Carcharodontosaurus is similar in size to a Tyrannosaurus rex, but much more lightly built, so not as stocky and as bulky. So measurements are around 13 to 14 meters long, so a little bit longer than the Tyrannosaurus rex. It was as tall, in fact it was taller than a double-decker bus. Wow, so imagine sitting in a double-decker bus and looking out the window. It would actually be over the top of that. Flipping heck. At 4.3 meters tall. Big animal. And the weight of this animal was around 6.5 tons. So a little bit lighter than the Tyrannosaurus rex. Tyrannosaurus, they believe now that it was a bit heavier than they predicted in the past. I think they're saying around 9, maybe even possibly over 10 tons. It was a much more bulkier, stockier creature, whereas the Carcharodontosaurus is very slender and a lot lighter. Let's have a look at the speeds of this animal. It might be a bit more speedy and a bit more agile than a Tyrannosaurus. Let's have a look. Okay, well, the results are in. We've got estimates for the Carcharodontosaurus for around 20 miles per hour, and Tyrannosaurus is 20 to 25 miles per hour. So it looks like the Tyrannosaurus rex was actually a little bit faster than the Carcharodontosaurus. So 20 miles per hour, it doesn't sound very fast when you think about how fast cars are going on the road and stuff like that, but when you look at the average human, the average speed for a human being is 17 to 19 miles per hour. So it would just catch you. The T-Rex would definitely catch you. So unless you're running at the speeds of Usain Bolt at 27 miles per hour, you just manage to get away from the T-Rex. But it'd be hot on your heels, you'd be turning around and seeing him. But yeah, that's insane. That's mad. So they are really fast animals. You've got to think as well how long their legs are. They've got very long strides. So, and for such a big, bulky animal as well, it is rather impressive. And another scary thought is that these animals would probably not tire very quickly because they have a hidden secret. Inside their bodies, they have these air sacs. And in the dinosaur documentary Planet Dinosaur, we get to see a Carcharodontosaurus hunting down an Tyrannosaur. And in this part of the show, they explain about these air sacs. And what these air sacs do is they basically make sure that the lungs have a continuous supply of oxygen. And basically they fill it with air, and as the animal is breathing out the carbon dioxide, these air sacs are pushing oxygen-rich air into the blood supply. So think about it, when we're breathing in oxygen and then we're breathing out carbon dioxide. So for Carcharodontosaurus, it's like they're continuously having oxygen just pumping in, even when they're breathing out. So, I mean, that's pretty scary to think about, isn't it? You know, these animals have continuously got oxygen coming into their muscles, so their muscles aren't going to get as tired as quickly as ours. So not only can they run faster than us, but they can run for longer than us. We'd be getting tired, we'd be running so far and be knackered, you know, be panting. This dinosaur would keep going because of these air sacs. It's incredible. And you can see back there I just made a little waterfall to make sure that there is a fresh drinking supply of water for our Carcharodontosaurus. We don't want the water getting stagnant in this cave. We want to make sure that they're kept healthy. So we've got a nice little waterfall for them there. And don't worry, they're not just going to be living inside of this cave. They can come out of the cave. We're going to build them an outside habitat. That'll be in another video. So we're building them this cave for now, but this cave took so long to build, putting all these pieces of rocks in. It does take a very long time, so I thought I'd better do it as a separate video. Oh, and here I'm just putting in some fire torches. I think it looks cool, suits the theme inside the cave, but also when the boat's coming in, it's quite dark inside the cave, so I want to ensure that the captain can actually see where he's driving. The last thing I want him to do is smash into the gate or into the checkpoint. That's the last thing that we want. So yeah, and a few little lanterns there as well, just to look at that. It does look quite cool, doesn't it? Looks like something off the Pirates of the Caribbean. But yes, it's coming along now. The cave is almost finished. We've just got to put in a few finishing touches. Oh, and some lights around the waterfall. I thought this would look cool, just to, you know, put a bit of effect around the waterfall as the guests cruise on by. They can look in there. Very nice. Oh, and here is the entrance/exit for the Carcharodontosaurus to get in and out of their cave. So this is where their outdoor habitat is going to be. So I have to make a nice tropical jungle swamp-like habitat for them, but that'll have to be in another video. And you may notice that I've actually put in 3 Carcharodontosaurus, 3 individuals. We have a male and 2 females. Now, I'm not sure if these animals were social or if they worked in packs or gangs, but it's quite hard to tell with extinct animals. So I was looking it up, and they said it's quite possible, you know, that these animals could have lived in groups, or maybe they didn't work in groups, but they did come together, a bit like Komodo dragons. You know, when there's a sick animal that's injured or dying, they'll all group together and start pecking away and biting their prey. But they're not actually social together, they don't actually live in a social group. Or maybe they were social, who knows? They could have lived together like a pride of lions or a pack of wolves. It's hard to tell. But I'm putting in 3 here. I think just having 1 on their own, you know, I don't want them to be lonely. And maybe, I don't know, in the future they might breed. We might have some baby Carcharodontosauruses running around the park. That would be nice, wouldn't it? But I can imagine these animals working together to bring down massive sauropods, you know, using their sharp teeth to just take a bite and keep biting. You know, one bite's here and the sauropod can't keep up with how many individuals are around it attacking it, and working together they'd be able to bring down giants. I can picture that in my head when I just close my eyes and imagine it. But yeah, who knows? But we're coming close to the end now. We've just got to put in the entrance for the ship so the passengers can actually get into the cave and see the Carcharodontosaurus lurking inside. So yeah, we're pretty much done. We've just got to fill in these gaps and edges. Lovely. And what I'll do is I'll finish off with a few shots of the Carcharodontosaurus enjoying their cave habitat. And by the way, we still need a name for this park. We haven't got one yet. There have been a few suggestions in the comments. So what we're going to do is put it down to a vote. You'll all have to decide what the park will be called in the end. And also, if you've got any ideas for the names of the animals, we need to name these 3 Carcharodontosauruses and also the 2 Spinosaurus that we've got in the other enclosure. So if you've got any ideas for names of the animals, please share them down below. And there we have it. The Carcharodontosaurus cave is complete. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give us a like, share your ideas for names of the park and the animals, as well as ideas for the park itself. And don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to see our previous build before this one, you can check out our Spinosaurus habitat build on screen now.